See you. Okay, let's see. So, awesome. Now, we're going to land this plane. I changed the title from what's in the agenda from closing Keynote to a little bit more of a words from the road, because that's a little bit more of the vibe we're going to have, okay? And don't worry, this isn't like Lord of the Rings. We're not going to have like 6 endings. So we're going to get this over. I know I'm the person between all of us and some drinks. So let's have a little fun with this. I'm going to weave together the topics from today, but a little bit of fun too. Beginning with this, we are unfortunately bearing Rachel's absence, right? And she's a center of gravity, and so we're missing her. But here is how she feels right now, not being here. And so that's Rachel in an Irish Titan shirt being pushed around in a stroller by me, okay? And yeah, I didn't ask for approval before any of these slides. On a serious note, though, I think Rachel deserves some credit because she has created a really strong community here. So I think that there were a lot of hands raised earlier today with EAG members who've been to many of these summits. Right? And so look at the event, the quality of the event, the caliber of the event, the energy we've still had with Rachel not here. And I think that she deserves a lot of credit for that. There's a old, I think it's either a Chinese proverb or a Kiss lyric, because I am a Kiss fan, that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And look what Rachel's built. So she deserves a lot of credit for that. Tiara yesterday said that founders got to get out of the way sometimes, and so kudos to her for that. Okay? Yeah, round of applause. Louis did a great job with a round of applause for the staff and everything, so they deserve that, but we'll keep moving, but let's do that real quick. Round of applause for Tiara, boss lady. A little diet package of dynamite. And how about a round of applause for this guy, Will? That's not the most flattering picture, but I felt like it was the most appropriate, right? Will's got a big heart, and I love that. It's a big heart in a baby giraffe's body or something, okay? All right. So, I want to, before we move into a little bit of content, I want to warm up with a bit of a rally cry, a warrior cry that we're going to repeat at the end, okay? And I did this last year for those of you who were here last year. So, Bear Bua means seize victory in Gaelic, okay? So I want to hear everybody say Bear Bua. Bear Bua. All right, one more time. That was good, but one more time. All right, so remember that for the test later that everybody will pass. Now, what I'm going to talk about real briefly is the more things change, the more they stay the same. And when I say that, I'm not trying to imply that we should be resigned or passive to some of the grind we're all feeling. But if you piece together the conversations that Scott from Klaviyo shared earlier this morning, Dylan shared this, Louis just shared this, there's a bit of a grind right now. And if you're an exception to that, that's great. If you're not an exception to that, you can feel free to admit it. I think Tiara is the one that mentioned yesterday that we want to have a sense of vulnerability. That's what this whole ecosystem is about. That's what EAG is about, right? But there's a bit of a grind right now, and I think that what we all need to do is rally around the fact that we should be expecting that, because that's what our industry is about. And so we'll cover some more of that. But the more things change, the more they stay the same. For some of us who've been in this space longer, we've been through some of these cycles, okay? There's just a lot happening in a very compressed amount of time right now. And we'll get to that. So this is how we're all feeling right now, right? Weary. Now, how about this? Who can guess what this is representing? Sales, right? It is difficult to get prospects and clients, but prospects a little bit more, to make decisions of consequence quickly right now. Let's talk next quarter. We want to see how things are going because we're a little bit soft right now. So they're kicking the can down the road. What is this? It's friendship with Rachel, being a punching bag, or sometimes being a punching bag to her too. But it's also the world right now, because there are geopolitical tensions, macroeconomic headwinds, tariffs, if you want to pull that out separately from the macroeconomic headwinds. And so there's a lot that we're navigating that contributes to both of those previous slides, with sales and prospects kicking the can down the road. And so now let's add AI to that, because that has been the topic here. It was the topic at Shop Talk. It was the topic at Shop Talk last year. It has been the topic for 4 years now. Now, it has advanced. There's a lot more material to it, and we're all trying to figure out how to navigate it. But you know what? So are our merchants. So is everybody in every industry. And to layer on top of that, people are trying to figure out how to navigate it internally for their own internal processes, for scalability, how it affects hiring. And so every one of our merchants, clients, friends in other industries are doing the same thing internally, and we're all trying to figure out in other industries too how to incorporate it externally. That's a lot to navigate, right? So how do we feel? I love Arrested Development, by the way. Tired, right? But we should hold, because I want to reference what I alluded to earlier. We've been through these cycles. Okay, so responsive design, way back when, which nobody even talks about anymore, understandably, but that created a ton of demand in the space. And some of us who were in e-commerce back then rode that wave, and then demand leveled off for a little bit. Then omnichannel came along, and personalization, which is like a narwhal, like it actually exists but not very often, whereas unicorns don't exist. Personalization is more of a narwhal. I'm getting distracted. SaaS. Right, that came along. Shopify, BigCommerce, et cetera. That drove a lot of demand. So we've seen these spikes, and then COVID was that on steroids and pulled a ton of demand forward. Okay? But something is going to happen next for those of us who have the grit and the resilience to navigate it. Maybe it's AI, but maybe it'll be something else. We don't know, but there will be something, because as long as consumers exist, commerce is going to exist. So no matter what shape commerce takes, especially if you think about it as commerce, not e-commerce, but commerce, no matter what shape it takes, it's going to exist because consumers are going to exist, right? We're not fighting over sunset industries like manufacturing VCRs or horses and buggies. We're in an industry with a bright future still, which means we should be kind of mentally prepared for this sort of whiplash, right? The more things change, the more they stay the same. Right now, it does feel like a grind. There's demand, but it's sort of pent up right now. There's a lot of pause for all those reasons I mentioned. We've been through this before. So I think that we all need to demonstrate the grit and the resilience to come out the other side. Our merchants are looking to us for that, because they're experiencing it too. They can't keep up with product design and inventory management and their supply chain and product and pricing and promotion, right? How can they keep up with all of that and then also be experts in e-commerce as quickly as it's changing and being impacted? So that's the spirit and domain expertise that we need to bring, which means we should adopt these kind of mindsets. Like, 3 guys running in leather with Roddy behind them, a big giant, right? We'll leave that at that. Or 6 badass women about to attack a Brazilian steakhouse. Or 3 superheroes, although you could say 2 superheroes, because I could be Batman. He doesn't have any superpowers. You might, any one of us could be Batman. But those are the sort of mindsets that we need to adopt, because we have a bright future and our merchants are looking for guidance and leadership from us as we navigate all this. Okay? So, now, I want everybody to stand up. If we can stand up and dance and make fools of ourselves this morning, we can stand up for a warrior cry. All right. And let's do this just once, because we already practiced it, so we don't need to do it 3 times. I see John stretching. I see other people stretching. I like it. All right. Is everybody ready? On 3, we're going to do bear bua. Ready? On 3, not after 3. On 3. 1, 2. Yeah, pretty badass. All right. And so the more things change, the more they stay the same. And I'll leave you with this. So that is what Rachel's thinking right now, too, since she had her baby a couple days ago. She can't. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Rachel had her baby 2 days ago. MJ is what she calls him. Michael Dyer something Jacobs. 9 pounds, happy and healthy.